Ladies and gentlemen, church, we need to talk. Love is one of the greatest gifts God has given us. But if we're not careful, we can mistake a trap for a blessing. Too often people ignore the warning signs because they're wrapped up in the idea of love rather than the reality of it. Love should never cost you your peace. Yet, so many people stay in relationships that leave them feeling anxious, drained, and uncertain. They convince themselves that love requires struggle, that if they just try harder, things will eventually get better. But real love, God-ordained love, is not built on suffering. Love does not demand that you sacrifice your emotional well-being just to keep another person happy. Some of us have mistaken chaos for passion. We've been told that love is supposed to be difficult, that the ups and downs are just part of the journey. But if a relationship is constantly robbing you of joy, making you question your worth, or leaving you emotionally exhausted, that is not love. That is bondage. In the Bible, we are said that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So why would He send you into something that makes you feel lost? A relationship from God will not have you wrestling with constant fear or insecurity. It will bring clarity, stability, and peace. Think about it. When Jesus spoke about love, He spoke about kindness, patience, and selflessness. Nowhere did He say that love should leave you emotionally battered. Yet, how many people ignore the signs of an unhealthy relationship because they fear being alone? They hold on, hoping things will change, hoping the person they love will wake up one day and magically become who they need them to be. But in the Bible, we are said that bad company corrupts good character. You cannot build a future with someone whose presence constantly diminishes your peace. Some relationships require more effort than others, but there is a difference between working through challenges and constantly fighting to feel valued. A healthy relationship does not leave you questioning your place in someone's life. It does not make you feel like you have to earn their affection or prove your worth. In the Bible, we are said that perfect love casts out fear. If love has you living in fear, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being good enough, then it is not love in its purest form. God's love does not operate on conditions. He does not love us when it is convenient or when we are at our best. He loves us through our flaws, through our mistakes, and through our growth. That is the kind of love you should be seeking in a relationship. Anything that constantly drains you, breaks you, or makes you question your identity is not from God. A person who truly loves you will protect your peace, not destroy it. So if you find yourself constantly battling stress, anxiety, or emotional turmoil in your relationship, ask yourself, is this what God intended for me? Because the love that comes from Him will not steal your peace. It will multiply it. Consistency is a core element in any relationship. We often focus on grand gestures, thinking that the occasional extravagant act of love or affection will make up for the everyday neglect or inconsistency in the relationship. But true love is found in the little things, in the daily actions that align with words, not just the big displays of emotion. The reality is that anyone can buy flowers, say sweet things, or give a grand gift when they want to impress, but the real test of love lies in how someone behaves on a daily basis, especially when life is not perfect. When someone loves you, their actions should consistently reflect their words. If they promise to be there for you and stand by your side but consistently fail to follow through, that is a serious red flag. A love based on empty promises is not love at all. It is important to understand that a relationship built on inconsistency will eventually crumble because trust is eroded. In the Bible, we are said that a man who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. If someone is not consistently showing up for you in the small, everyday moments, why would you expect them to be there when it matters most? The foundation of any strong relationship is trust, and trust is built over time by consistency. It's not about having perfect moments, but about having consistent moments of support, care, and respect. A partner who says they love you but is often absent, unreliable, or inconsistent in their actions can leave you feeling uncertain, anxious, and constantly questioning their commitment. This lack of consistency disrupts your peace and creates doubt about the future. It's important to recognize that love requires a daily investment, and that investment is shown through consistent actions, whether it's a simple act of kindness, listening when you need to talk, or showing up when you said you would. God, in His love, shows us consistency. His love for us is not dependent on our actions or circumstances, and He remains faithful even when we are unfaithful. In the Bible, we are said that God is always the same, yesterday, today, and forever. He is constant, unwavering, and dependable. This is the model we should follow in our relationships. True love doesn't fluctuate with the seasons. It remains steady and reliable even when life throws challenges your way. If someone's actions don't align with their words, that's not the kind of love God has designed for you. A relationship with God's love will be steady and unwavering, just as His love for us is. In relationships, it's important to remember that consistency isn't just about physical presence. It's about emotional availability, respect, and effort. If your partner says they love you but consistently shows signs of indifference or avoids difficult conversations, it's a warning sign. Love that is truly consistent doesn't just show up when things are easy. It shows up in the moments of struggle, pain, and hardship, offering support and comfort just as Christ does for us. A person who loves you consistently will not only show up during the good times, but will stand by you in the difficult times as well, reinforcing that their love is not just a passing emotion, but a committed, lasting bond. Communication is one of the most vital aspects of any relationship, yet it is often overlooked or mishandled. In a healthy relationship, open and honest communication is the foundation of understanding and connection. If your partner consistently shuts down difficult conversations, dismisses your feelings, or refuses to engage in meaningful dialogue, this is a significant red flag. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about truly listening, respecting each other's thoughts, and finding solutions together. Without it, a relationship can quickly become one-sided and emotionally unhealthy. Many people struggle with communication, whether because of fear, pride, or simply a lack of skills. However, when someone is unwilling to engage with you in a respectful and constructive manner, it's a clear sign that they may not be fully committed to the relationship or to your emotional needs. Love requires vulnerability and a willingness to open up, to share both the good and the difficult parts of life. A relationship built on silence or avoidance of tough issues will quickly lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and emotional distance. In the Bible, we are said that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Our words have the power to heal, to uplift, or to destroy. How we communicate in a relationship shapes the way we experience it. If your partner avoids addressing issues or uses silence as a weapon, it can create an environment of emotional starvation, where your needs and concerns are ignored. This silence creates a void, leaving you to wonder if your partner cares enough to listen to your heart, or if they are simply more focused on their own comfort than your emotional well-being. True communication goes beyond simply talking. It involves active listening and a genuine effort to understand one another. If someone is constantly dismissing your thoughts, feelings, or concerns, they are not offering the kind of respect you deserve. The Bible teaches us that in relationships we are called to bear each other's burdens and comfort one another in times of trouble. Communication is the way we share those burdens. If your partner is unwilling to listen to you during your difficult moments, it suggests that they are not fully engaged in the partnership. In a healthy relationship, there is space for both people to speak their truth and feel heard. It is not just about expressing feelings, but about engaging in productive dialogue where both parties listen and make an effort to understand each other. When someone dismisses your feelings or refuses to engage in hard conversations, they are signaling a lack of emotional investment. This can create a sense of isolation within the relationship, where one person feels unheard and unimportant. The Bible tells us that we should speak the truth in love, meaning that honesty should always be accompanied by kindness and empathy. This type of communication fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. Furthermore, the inability to communicate properly can also reflect deeper issues, such as fear of confrontation, lack of emotional maturity, or selfishness. These issues, if left unaddressed, will ultimately lead to a breakdown in the relationship. Healthy communication is rooted in humility, understanding, and a willingness to meet each other halfway. When someone avoids open, honest communication, it prevents both partners from growing together. Instead of building a stronger connection, it creates distance and misunderstanding. In the Bible, we are said to be quick to listen and slow to speak. A relationship that is based on this principle creates an environment where both people feel valued, understood, and respected. Respect is the cornerstone of any relationship, and without it, love cannot thrive. Relationships should be built on mutual honor where both partners value and appreciate each other. A lack of respect is often masked in subtle ways, through belittling comments, dismissive attitudes, or controlling behaviors. When these actions become a pattern, they signal deeper issues that need to be addressed. In a relationship where respect is lacking, one partner will often feel devalued, unheard, and unimportant. It's important to recognize that respect is not just about how we treat each other in public, but how we treat one another in private moments, during disagreements, and when times are tough. When someone consistently disrespects you, whether through harsh words, neglect, or treating you as if your feelings don't matter, they are revealing a lack of true love. In the Bible, we are said that love does not dishonor others. This means that love should uplift and encourage, not tear down or disregard. No matter how much someone may claim to love you, their actions will always speak louder than their words. A disrespectful partner will often belittle your opinions, mock your thoughts, or undermine your efforts. This behavior creates an environment of emotional harm, where one person's needs, desires, and dreams are consistently pushed aside for the benefit of the other. Over time, this builds resentment and emotional distance, making it harder to sustain a healthy relationship. Respect isn't just about avoiding hurtful actions. It's also about valuing the other person's humanity and dignity. A loving partner will honor you not just as a companion, but as an individual with your own unique qualities, opinions, and life goals. This includes recognizing your worth, even when you disagree, and acknowledging the challenges you face. It's important that both partners see each other as equals in the relationship, both deserving of love, care, and consideration. In relationships where respect is present, each person feels safe to express themselves, to be vulnerable, and to share their thoughts without fear of ridicule or dismissal. A lack of respect often manifests in controlling behavior, which is another significant red flag to watch out for. Control can take many forms, telling you what to wear, who to talk to, or where you can go. It may seem small at first, but over time it creates an unhealthy dynamic in which one partner holds power over the other. This is not the kind of love that God intended. In the Bible, we are said that we are all created equal, and in love, we are to submit to one another in humility. True love respects the other person's freedom, autonomy, and ability to make their own choices. Any relationship that tries to control or dominate the other person is not in alignment with God's design for love. Moreover, respect includes the ability to apologize and seek forgiveness when necessary. If someone refuses to admit when they are wrong or is too proud to apologize, it's a sign that they don't value you or the relationship enough to make things right. In the Bible, we are said that humility precedes honor. It's in humility that we are able to recognize our mistakes and take responsibility for them. A relationship that lacks respect will not have the humility required to admit wrongs, resulting in unresolved conflicts and growing bitterness. Respect, when present in a relationship, creates a safe space for both partners to grow, learn, and support one another. It fosters an atmosphere of love and care where both people feel seen and heard. A disrespectful relationship, on the other hand, creates emotional wounds that can take years to heal. Love that is built on respect will endure, but love without respect will slowly fade away. In the Bible, we are said that a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken, meaning that when we build our relationships on respect, love, and trust, they become stronger and more resilient. A partner who truly loves you will lift you up, not make you feel small. The love we seek should empower us, bring out the best in us, and make us feel seen, valued, and understood. Unfortunately, too many people end up in relationships where they are belittled, criticized, or made to feel inferior. This can be subtle at first, a snide comment, a joke at your expense, or an offhand remark that cuts deep. But over time, these small instances of undermining behavior accumulate, and the impact on your confidence and self-esteem can be devastating. The right kind of love never makes you feel diminished. It builds you up, just as Christ builds us up with his love. When you are in a relationship with someone who constantly makes you feel small or inferior, it's important to examine how that affects you. We are made in the image of God, and we are told in the Bible that we are wonderfully made. This means that each of us has intrinsic value and dignity that should be acknowledged and respected. A partner who truly loves you will recognize your worth and never make you feel like you're not enough. A partner who consistently undermines your self-worth or puts you down is not demonstrating the love that God intends. It's easy to get caught up in relationships where we feel like we have to prove ourselves constantly, but the truth is that you are already enough. In the Bible, we are said that God loved us first before we even had the chance to do anything to earn it. This unconditional love should be the model for all of our relationships. A healthy relationship will make you feel valued for who you are, not for what you do or how much you give. Love should be affirming, not degrading. This doesn't mean that a loving partner will never correct or guide you. Healthy relationships require honesty and accountability, but there is a big difference between constructive feedback that helps you grow and harsh criticism that tears you down. Constructive criticism comes from a place of care and desire for mutual growth, while demeaning comments come from a place of insecurity, control, or disregard for your feelings. The love described in the Bible is patient and kind, and it seeks to lift others up, not tear them down. A person who loves you will want to see you thrive and will support your dreams and aspirations. If you're with someone who makes you feel less than, who regularly points out your flaws without ever acknowledging your strengths, it's a red flag. This kind of relationship erodes your confidence over time and creates an environment where you feel like you must always be striving to prove your worth. But love, as God intended, is not about proving anything. It is about accepting and honoring each other. In the Bible, we are said that love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. The kind of love that we should be striving for is one that always hopes the best for the other person and continually lifts them up. If you feel consistently put down or dismissed in your relationship, you must question whether the love you're receiving is truly from God. God's love for us doesn't make us feel less. It affirms our worth and brings us into a closer relationship with Him. In the same way, a loving partner should help you see your strengths, support your growth, and encourage you in all areas of life. The right person will recognize that you are a unique individual, made in God's image, and will celebrate who you are rather than trying to shrink or diminish you. When love lifts you up, it makes you stronger, more confident, and more whole. And that is the kind of love God intends for all of us to experience. Promises are powerful, and the weight they carry in relationships is immeasurable. A promise at its core is a bond of trust, a verbal commitment that reflects the depth of someone's intentions and feelings. When someone makes a promise to you, especially in the context of a relationship, it is an expectation that they will honor their word, follow through, and demonstrate their dedication. However, too often in relationships, promises are made casually or with no intention of following through, leaving the other partner feeling betrayed, hurt, and uncertain. In the Bible, we are said that our yes should be yes and our no should be no. In other words, our words should be trustworthy and our commitments should be taken seriously. When someone tells you they will do something or promises to be there for you, their actions should align with those words. If someone consistently fails to follow through on their promises, it's a sign of inconsistency, lack of commitment, and a potential lack of respect for the relationship. The promises made in love should never be taken lightly. They are not just empty words to be forgotten the moment they are spoken, but rather they are declarations that shape the trust and foundation of the relationship. Broken promises have the power to slowly erode the trust between two people. When promises are repeatedly unfulfilled, doubt begins to creep in, and the very foundation of the relationship begins to crumble. Trust, once lost, is incredibly difficult to rebuild. In the Bible, we are said that a faithful person is someone who can be trusted with small things and big things alike. If your partner consistently fails to keep promises, it becomes a question not only of their sincerity, but also of their ability to honor the relationship and nurture it. Promises in love are not merely words. They are actions that must be backed up by consistency and integrity. While everyone can make mistakes or face circumstances that prevent them from fulfilling a promise, the key here is a pattern of behavior. When promises are broken regularly, with no explanation or with a lack of remorse, it creates an unhealthy dynamic in the relationship. Love, as described in the Bible, is about keeping promises, being faithful, and honoring your word. The Bible teaches that when we make commitments, we must strive to keep them, as this reflects the love and integrity that we are called to have as followers of Christ. A person who constantly breaks their promises will eventually break your heart, and that is not the kind of love God has designed. Furthermore, someone who breaks their promises without regard for the impact on you is showing a lack of care and consideration for your emotions. When a promise is broken, especially in matters of the heart, the person on the receiving end often feels betrayed or abandoned. If a partner does not take responsibility for their actions or fails to acknowledge the hurt caused by broken promises, it reveals a level of selfishness or disregard for the relationship. In the Bible, we are said that love is not self-seeking. Love does not focus on its own needs or desires, but is rooted in caring for the other person. A promise made in love should never be treated as a mere convenience. It should be honored with full sincerity. Love is meant to be reliable, dependable, and consistent. It does not waver with circumstances or personal convenience. If someone truly loves you, their promises should be trustworthy, and their actions should align with the words they speak. When promises are broken, it diminishes the emotional connection between two people and leads to a loss of faith in the relationship. True love is built on the foundation of integrity, and a relationship where promises are kept will flourish in trust and security. A healthy relationship is one where both individuals feel supported, not just emotionally, but also in their personal growth and goals. The person you are with should not hinder your growth, but rather encourage you to become the best version of yourself. When you are in a relationship, it should provide you with the strength and confidence to pursue your passions, dreams, and aspirations. If your partner constantly undermines your ambitions or tries to keep you from growing, it's a red flag. Instead of helping you reach your potential, they hold you back. This type of dynamic stifles your self-expression and growth, ultimately leading to frustration and resentment. In the Bible, we are said that God has plans for us, plans to prosper us, to give us a hope and a future. This doesn't just refer to material success, but to spiritual and emotional growth as well. We are all called to grow, to become more aligned with God's purpose for our lives. A partner who loves you will recognize and support your journey of growth, whether it's in your career, spiritual walk, personal interests, or education. They will not put obstacles in your way, but will encourage you to follow the path God has set before you. They will uplift you when challenges arise and stand by your side as you pursue what you believe you are called to do. Growth is essential in every aspect of life, and a healthy relationship helps foster that development. When a partner discourages you from pursuing your dreams or belittles your ambitions, they are showing a lack of support and perhaps even a lack of belief in your potential. God has equipped each of us with unique gifts and talents, and in the Bible, we are said that each person is wonderfully made. No one should be in a relationship where their abilities and aspirations are minimized or dismissed. True love encourages growth and fosters an environment where both individuals feel safe to pursue their individual and shared dreams. A supportive partner will also celebrate your successes and encourage you during your failures. They will see your potential and help you develop it. This kind of relationship is characterized by mutual respect for each other's growth. When you are in a relationship where growth is stifled, you begin to feel trapped, stagnant, and unsure of your own worth. Instead of feeling free to soar to new heights, you may feel as though your wings are clipped, and this can be incredibly damaging emotionally and spiritually. In the Bible, we are said said that iron sharpens iron, and this principle applies in relationships as well. You should challenge one another to grow, to become better, and to reach your highest potential in God. A healthy relationship pushes both partners to be their best selves, offering accountability, encouragement, and love throughout the journey. If your partner is not supporting your personal growth, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, or professionally, they are not offering the kind of love that aligns with God's design for relationships. God's love does not hold us back, it propels us forward. A loving partner should do the same, creating an environment where you are free to pursue your passions, learn new things, and grow into the person you were always meant to be. The love that God offers is not one of limitation, but one of expansion, helping you to flourish in all areas of life. So, if you are in a relationship where your growth is being stunted, it's time to evaluate whether that relationship is truly aligned with God's will for your life. Love that doesn't support your growth is not the kind of love God has planned for you. True love encourages you to stretch beyond your comfort zones, to explore the talents and passions God has placed within you, and to pursue the destiny He has set before you. A relationship should bring peace, not anxiety. When you are with someone who genuinely loves you, they should be a source of comfort, safety, and emotional support. Instead of creating a constant state of stress, doubt, or fear, the right partner should encourage a sense of security, trust, and peace in your life. If you find that your relationship is causing you persistent anxiety, whether it's through unpredictable behavior, emotional manipulation, or constant drama, it's a clear indication that something is wrong. In the Bible, we are said that God desires for us to live in peace, and He provides peace that surpasses all understanding. A relationship should reflect that peace, where both partners can feel safe to express themselves, to be vulnerable, and to build a future together without constant turmoil. If your relationship is filled with anxiety, confusion, or emotional chaos, it becomes nearly impossible to experience true peace or joy. In those situations, the relationship begins to feel more like a source of instability than a foundation of support. Relationships should foster an environment where both individuals feel respected, understood, and valued. When a partner's behavior creates fear or anxiety, whether through unpredictable actions, volatile moods, or emotionally charged conflicts, it signals that the relationship may not be healthy. Love that comes from God doesn't breed anxiety or unease. It creates a foundation of trust and calm. In the Bible, we are said that perfect love casts out fear. If your relationship is characterized by constant tension or fear of doing something wrong, it is essential to assess whether that love is truly healthy or if it is rooted in insecurity, manipulation, or control. Anxiety in a relationship can also stem from emotional manipulation, where one partner uses guilt, fear, or other tactics to control the other person. This behavior creates an unhealthy dynamic where one partner feels trapped, constantly walking on eggshells to avoid conflict or emotional outbursts. In such a scenario, love becomes a tool for control rather than a source of support and comfort. Love that comes from God is not manipulative or coercive. It respects boundaries, encourages mutual respect, and supports the individual's emotional well-being. If a partner is consistently using emotional tactics to control you, it's a red flag that the relationship is unhealthy and needs to be addressed. True love in a relationship is meant to encourage emotional safety and security. You should be able to express your thoughts and feelings without the fear of judgment, ridicule, or manipulation. In the Bible, we are said that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. In a loving relationship, you should feel empowered to be yourself, to speak your truth, and to grow emotionally without the constant undercurrent of fear or anxiety. The relationship should be a place where both partners feel free to thrive and find peace, not a place where they feel emotionally drained or unsettled. If you find yourself feeling anxious, constantly questioning your worth, or fearing the worst in your relationship, it is crucial to take a step back and evaluate whether this relationship is truly reflecting the love and peace God desires for you. A healthy, loving relationship should bring peace into your life, not turmoil. It should allow you to grow emotionally, spiritually, and personally without the weight of constant anxiety or fear. In the Bible, we are said that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. True love will always bring a sense of freedom, freedom to be yourself, freedom to trust, and freedom to experience peace. If your relationship is not offering this peace, it's time to reflect on the dynamics at play and consider whether it aligns with the love God has planned for you.